So who in here is a broke college student? Yeah, I'm going to raise my hand with that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Who in here also has one of these? Yeah, we all do. So today I'm here to talk to you about tithing and the importance of tithing, and how even though we don't always get to see what God does with our generosity, we know that He is doing something. And so the same way as we have this debit card and we know that there's money on here and we believe that there's money on here and we swipe the card every single time that we use it, we don't always see the physical money there, and we don't always see the money being immediately taken out of our bank account unless you have the Mid-Florida app, which is amazing, lets you see everything. But outside of that, you don't get to see the physical money going towards use. The same way as when we give our tithes and offerings to God, we don't always see it being used right away, or sometimes even at all. We just have to trust and believe that it is. And so I remember months ago hearing a message from Carl Lentz about generosity and about tithing and the importance of it, and how it's not just to be obedient to God, because in the Bible it says that we need to give Him 10% of everything that we have. Tithing shouldn't just be a mindset of obedience, but instead it should be a mindset of trusting God, because as humans, we hold on to money as our tightest thing, because we need money to survive every single day. Honestly, if we didn't have money, we wouldn't be able to buy food, buy clothes, pay for a home to live in, pay for school, pay for gas, pay for anything. We use money in our everyday lives to survive. And so he preached this message on how important it is that we hold our money tightly, yes, but we also are free to give it away to God, because ultimately it came from Him anyways. And so I remember hearing this message about a year and a half ago, and it was at the same time where I had no job, and I was a full-time college student, a full-time college athlete, and I knew God was telling me I needed to go to Haiti on a missions trip, but I knew that I didn't have the money to provide myself to go there, and my parents didn't have the money to give me to go there. And so I just remembered thinking to myself, you know what, God, like, I need to trust you with every aspect of my life, especially money, because money is what I'm holding onto so tightly right now, because I don't have any and I'm really struggling. But I know you're calling me to go to Haiti, and I know that you're going to provide a way for me to go. So for these next however many months, I'm going to be so intentional with every single penny that you give me, and I will tithe on it to show you that I trust you, and I'm believing that you're going to allow me to go on this trip. And so I remember one time in specific, I was at church, and I literally had gotten $10 that week from like helping my mom around the house. And I remember getting to church and being like, this is so embarrassing, but I'm literally going to put $1 in the offering bucket, believing that God's going to do something incredible with that $1, and He's going to reward me for trusting Him and being faithful to Him. And later on that day, my grandma donated $50 to my trip to Haiti. And I remember even another time of getting $50 from babysitting this little boy. I tithed $5 that week, and I went home and I took a nap. And before I took my nap, I was like, you know what, God, like, I gave you $5 today, and I know that's really small, but I'm believing that you're going to do something amazing with it, and I'm believing that you're going to reward me for being faithful to you. And I woke up that afternoon, and I got $200 from an old cheerleading coach toward my trip from Haiti that was due at midnight that night. And so it's just time after time after time, God was showing me, like, I'm rewarding you because you're trusting me with the little that you have. And so ever since I started doing that, I tithe on every single paycheck, every single ounce of money that I get from anywhere. I always tithe it to God, not because I'm expecting something in return, but instead I'm doing it to show Him I trust you with every single aspect of my life, and I know that you're going to reward me for being obedient to you. And so if you haven't started tithing yet, I would really encourage you to, because generosity doesn't only help you in the finance side of things, but generosity helps you become a generous person in all aspects of life, in your talents, in your time, in the way you invest in people, and it shows God that you trust Him with all that you have, even the things that you're scared and worried the most about. And so if you haven't started tithing, I would definitely encourage you to, because the rewards that come from it are absolutely mind-blowing, and I could sit here and tell you thousands of stories from the things that I've received from tithing, not just physical things that God has given me, but spiritual and emotional things that I've seen in my life, and I've also seen it happen in other people's lives because of generosity. So I would definitely encourage you to tithe if you haven't started tithing yet. And that's all. Thank you.